Okay, hi guys. Um, so last week was a pretty choppy week at the start. Just gonna take you through step by steps. Now, can you see that this candle here was the Tuesday because Monday was a public holiday. Wednesday gap down. Thursday it gap up and then it push. Friday it gap up a little bit and push as well. And we are now making all-time high. Can you see my cursor down here for the SPY on a 52-week range? We are making an all-time high. So remember last week I was posting that market looks a bit more strong because of this breakout sign. Okay, and then I'll take you through why do I think that first. Can you see that? So this was where our resistance was. Okay, and then I will also like to draw for you the support, the previous support from here to here to here to here. Can you see that we are actually making a higher low, a higher low, and a higher low, and the reducing interval between the touches, and so we broke out last Friday, and then I'm going to explain or maybe talk you through what to expect and what not done. Yeah, so we knew that this portion here was quite a big resistance because if I were to zoom out and can you see that there's this resistance here. Again, the candle did not close above, so I'm taking a close of this. And if we were to just pull up our trend-based speed extension, we go from the low to the swing high and to this swing low, and then we just drag it out. Can you see that on the weekly chart, this is the weekly time frame, we were at the 0.5, which is a pretty strong resistance level lah. And then if we go down to the daily time frame, and then we do the same, we take the swing low to the swing high, and then back to this swing low, and then we drag it up. Can you see that we were at the 0.618, which is the 477.7 area, 478 area. And together with the previous all-time high, which was made in December 2021, and coupled with that and the weekly feed extension, the daily feed extension, we can see that this is actually a very strong level. Now, is this a legit breakout or not? Nobody will know. Nobody will know, but can you see from the daily time frame, can you see that the volume of last Friday was significant? Was significant as compared to the last couple of weeks since January. Yeah. So whether this is a breakout or not, is this a true breakout or false breakout? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you what to look for first. Okay. Now, so we have our swing high down here. We have the last time the all-time high was down here, and so then we have a breakout. Now I'll go down to the 1 hour time frame to explain this. Okay, can you see that from Thursday, since or even from Thursday, this part here is very parabolic. It just pretty much went up in a straight line lah. Okay, and from here, from this swing low, which is you see that there's a bit of a gap fill, which is a good thing, all the way to here. SPY has rallied 2% in 1 day. 1 day plus. So is this rally sustainable? It's not lah. So then how do I know that this is going to be a confirmed breakout? So probably next Monday, tomorrow, it might push up a little bit first because people FOMO, they want to trap more buyers or whatsoever. I don't care. What I want to see is there is a gentle retracement. So there might be FPY might do a bit of a gentle retracement, come back down to this support, which is at about 479 area, thereabout, and bounce off. If it bounce off, then about 1% bounce off meaning to say 1% from here, so I get it about here lah, 481, 482 area. Okay, and if it bounce off, then I would say that that is probably a legit breakout. Okay, and then now if SPY pulls back, let's see so we have here we have the support down here again. If SPY pulls back a little bit, I am not going to start panicking, okay? Because from here to here, this is the fibo retracement. If SPY pulls back to the 0.382, which is where our support is, and bounce off, that is also completely fine. If it pulls back down to this 0.5 or the 0.618 before it breaks out again, that is also completely fine. Then if that happens, that will be a good thing. We will be able to, it will chop around. Sorry, let me just clean this up. So probably it may just chop around down here, one day up, one day up, one day down, and things like that. Then we can draw our trend line, and then we can wait for the next breakout to go long. Okay. One thing to take note of is I would like to share. I don't usually use this very often, but it came out on IG, I think. The crossover. Now let me see how do I edit this. Okay, I just clear the histogram first. Now, can you see that whenever the blue line crosses the orange line, don't care whether is it above or below this dotted line, I don't care. So whenever the blue line crosses the orange line, what happens? The market rally. Whenever the blue line crosses the orange line, again what happens? The market rally. Whenever the blue line crosses the orange line, what happened? It started to rally. And then down here, when the blue line crosses the orange line, what happened? We started to rally again. And now the blue line is crossing the orange line again. So are we going to do this? I highly doubt we are going to do that, but overall trend in the next couple of months could be a slow climb up. Okay, it could be a slow climb up. Although we know that by using the US presidential election seasonality, let's see, sorry, where was it? Yes, correct, this one. So you can see that usually the market is quite sideways for the first quarter of the year, and then after that it takes off in probably after March, April, that period lah. So are we going to do this? I am really not too sure. This is just a guide. Okay, this is just a guide. It doesn't mean that it will come true. It doesn't mean that it won't come true either. Okay, so now I'm gonna take off this MACD already. Now looking at the chart, if let's say this is our wave, this is our wave 1, this is our wave 2, this is our wave 3. Okay, I see. This is our wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Where can wave 3 go? Very simple. We use the trend-based feed extension. Your swing low to your swing high, and then to your this swing low again. Just drag it out. Where can the market go to? 520, which is a lot of upsides. Okay, about 8% upsides. And for the market to move 8%, it takes a very long time lah. It doesn't just rally 2% each for 4 days. No, it doesn't do that. So what I suppose the market might do is to chop around this area first, which is this 0.618, and maybe even come back down to retest that breakout. If they come back to retest the breakout and it bounce off, then I will be very very happy, because we will have a lot of setups. Yeah. Moving on to QQQ. So moving on to QQQ, those of you in the WhatsApp chat would have seen this. I drew a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. This is an inverse head and shoulder pattern, and the neckline is somewhere here. So this inverse head and shoulder pattern, again, QQQ broke out. This is parabolic. I won't be surprised if it chops around for a while or even pull back to come back and retest this before bouncing off. And so if it comes back to retest, that's perfectly fine lah. Yeah. And then for QQQ, same. If I were to do the extension, if this is your wave, this is your wave 1, your wave 2, and then we are now going for the wave 3. Is that possible? Possibly. That might be a possibility. So we have our swing low to our swing high, and then to our swing low here, and then we drag it out. Can you see that on the daily time frame, we are now at the 0.618, 421 area. So I expect QQQ to chop around for a bit, maybe come back down to bounce in 0.5, go back up to the 0.618, bounce a bit, chop a bit, then before breaking up to go higher. Okay. Moving on to IWM. IWM has been quite sideways from 2022 until 2023. You see that it is just within this range. It has been just within this range, not going anywhere. If you are a range trader, you can always trade the range. Okay, but then I would like to show you all something. Okay, so you see this pattern. Now, according to the Y-Course distribution, can you see this pattern down here? Down here, let me, okay. So can you see this accumulation? I don't believe it's the distribution, okay. I do not believe it's the distribution, because you see that there is a fail rally here. Is there a fail rally here? Don't have. Okay. There's a low volume fail sell off. And so down here, if I were to just open the volume bar for you, and low volume also not necessary lah. Yeah. But anyway, just using this as a guide, I think that if IWM is able to break above this 202 level, 203 level, and hold for maybe three days, come back down to retest and bounce, then the small cap, medium cap stocks will start moving. What are your small cap, medium cap? Palantir, Snapchat, the airline AAL, DAL, UAL, CCL, all this kind. You can search for them lah. Okay, and so not much on IWM. I am really just waiting for it to break above 202, 203 and fall above 90, or come back for a retest and bounce. Then I will be looking to trade the small and the mid cap stocks. Yeah. For those of you who followed some of my calls, congratulations. So I was in Apple position trade for a while already, and that day I call out that Apple, hey, it's at the MA 200. It came near to the MA 200 once earlier this year, then it come down another time earlier last week, and then it came back to the MA 200 last Wednesday. Okay, so if you miss the boat, you miss the boat lah. And can you see that we are now at the gap, nearing the gap fill. The gap fill is here. Just zoom out, zoom in for you. The gap fill is here. Okay, so then again, Apple has made a parabolic move. I am not going to be surprised if it starts to chop around for a while before it does a gap fill and then it breaks out to go up higher lah. And of course, you see that Apple has earnings coming up. I have a position trade, so I am going to hold it through earnings. I will not hold a swing trade through earnings, but position trade, the entry to the stop loss is already quite wide, so I will go through earnings. Can you see that usually the earnings is here? Before earnings, it starts to rally. This one, before earnings, it starts to drop already lah. And I think this was because there was a ban, the China banned the Apple iPhone or something, cannot remember. And you see, before earnings, it usually starts to vary. So will it do the same thing now? I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. I won't be able to know. I can only trade the chart. Yeah? And AMD as well. AMD, we did a swing trade with proper setup as well. You see that it bounced off. It did a liquidity sweep. It's only after you do a liquidity sweep then you know it's a liquidity sweep. It did a sweep, went above EMA 20. I tried to swing long EMD down here this candle because that's the combo as well. But it just went sideways for 5 days. I got out and break even, then never mind, it's okay. I wait for the next trade. So break even is still a win. Okay, so long as I'm not losing money lah. And so AMD is already 1:2. I have taken I think 25% off, and then my next target will be my 1:3, which is 181.7 thereabout. So I'm just gonna let it run. RCL as well, Royal Caribbean. I also posted this setup on the WhatsApp chat, and you can see that there's a triangle. How long is this triangle? The triangle is 15 days. So the triangle has to be at least 2 weeks to 2 months for it to be a valid triangle lah. And can you see that it came back down for a retest before bouncing off? Of course, some people who play the retest may take the next candle down here. I won't be up at like 12 or 1 a.m. waiting for the retest, so no, I'm just gonna take it at the breakout. Already accounted for risk, so my target will be about 135 thereabout because it is the previous swing high. It is the previous resistance down here. Leg. So can you see? This was the previous high. So you have this high down here. This was close by. This high down here. This one. You see how much it tried to break above, but it couldn't break above. So then I may be taking a huge chunk of my profits at 135.44 or 135 thereabout, just before the swing high. And even though some people may say, hey, your trade not 1:2 yet leh. Yeah lah, 1:1.5 lah. But if there's a major resistance down there, will I want to risk 1:2? Probably not 1:1.5 or somewhere near the resistance. I will have taken profit, taken partial, leave the rest to run, watch the candles and see what it does. If it is strong, then it will hover around there making higher lows before doing a breakout again. Yeah. The VIX. So the VIX asks you all to look out for this line as well, 14.5. Can you see that the market went to 14.5, this candle here, and then it rejected, and then after that it started going lower. That's why SPY has been rallying. Yeah, where is the low that I will start taking note? I'll start to take note if it hits about 12.45. Usually a new year means a new VIX value, the to indicate the peak and the bottom lah. Okay, but based on the information that we have at this point of time, 12.45 is the value that I will be looking at. Yep. Okay. A couple more things. We have the fear and greed as well. So where is the fear and greed? It's currently at greed, which is 72. Once it reach extreme greed, that will be where the market starts peaking and starts pulling back lah. And can you see that down here? You see once it reaches 80, it starts to drop. Yeah, once it reaches 80, it starts to pull back a little bit. Once it reaches 80, it starts to pull back a little bit. So if you guys can go and correspond the dates yourself lah. Not gonna do that for you. Okay, and so we do not have much things going on next week except for GDP on next Thursday, 8:30, which will be 9:30 Singapore time, and so that will move the market. Of course, this core PCE will also move the market as well. So just have a look out, but this one, the Friday one, is not going to be as a huge move as our CPI, our PPI lah. Yep. So relatively quiet week, except that we have earnings. The important earnings for tech, Netflix is going to announce their earnings Tuesday after close, and that will sort of impact or give a bit of a hint to how the other tech stocks are doing. Please do not gamble on earnings unless you are telling me that you have a position trade, which means that your entry to your stop loss is about 10% there about or more. Otherwise, swing trade, please close off your trades before the earnings. You want to close it off at 4:30, I don't give a shit. Just close it off at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Okay, and then Wednesday after close, we have Tesla, and so Tesla has been dropping. I got out, took a big loss. I think it was like 5,000, which is 5% lah. Yeah, and I suspect from here to here, from the swing high to the lows here is already 21%. Will Tesla probably fly here on the earning? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not there to gamble on it, so I do not want to gamble on the earnings. If it does, okay, good for the investor. I'm not going to gamble on it, and so then I will just wait for the next trade, the next setup to occur. Okay. Yeah. Weird thing is US 10-year yields has also been rising. So usually the yields and the market is opposite of each other. So if I were to just put them side by side, remove this MA20 for you. So can you see that normally, you see that the 10-year yield down here has been rising. it has been rising, and therefore the market started to drop. If we just look at the picture on the right, the market started to drop, which is down here. It started to drop as the 10-year yield was rising, and then the 10-year yield started to drop, the market started to rally. Now that the 10-year yield is rallying and the market is also rallying, I'm just going to start being a bit cautious lah. And also do note that you see SPY is pretty much quite overbought by now lah. Yeah. Now what can the 10-year yield do? Maybe it might want to come up to this area here. Okay, so down here, this one bounce, this one bounce, this one bounce a bit, break out, then messy. It might want to come back here, and you see it has made a rejection candle down there. So what am I going to look out for? If let's say the US 10-year yield is able to break below this trend line. Okay, if the US 10-year yield is able to break below this trend line, then I am pretty sure the market will rally very hard. Otherwise, if it does this choppy action sideways, up down, if it breaks below, long position good. If it breaks above, then market will start to pull back as well, and then maybe a correction. So I am not sure. I have no way to tell. I can only trade the chart. Okay, so then game plan for next week is very simple. Now let's go back to SPY again. Go back to the day chart, easier to see. So we have our all-time high, which is here, there about. If game plan very simple, if SPY continues to hold above this support for the next 2 to 3 days, very good. That means that it is a legit breakout. If not, if it comes and do a good bearish engulfing candle on tomorrow or Tuesday, then I will start being a little bit more cautious lah. Yeah, and if it holds above, good for us. We will watch for a retest and a bounce before it goes up again. Okay, when will I start to be very cautious? If it breaks below this trend line, if it breaks below this ascending trend line, because can you see that this ascending trend line has been a very good support down here, fly, come back down here, come back bounce, and down here. So if it comes back to here, if it breaks below our support, I'm not going to turn bearish yet. I am just going to stay neutral. It may come back to this trend line and bounce off one more time. That is a possibility. But if it breaks below, then possibly we might come back to do this gap fill. Yeah? And then if it comes back to do this gap fill, then I will start adding my VOO for my investment. Yeah? Okay, so best of luck. And then any question, text me. Bye.